Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic, Less Known Classic. This episode number 2272 and Doubleshot number 2166. Now, I've got two sci-fi related trades. First is Green Lantern, the other one's Fantastic Four. Okay, for Green Lantern, we have Blackest Night Green Lantern, written by Jeff Johns, artwork by Doug Mankey. Collecting issues of Green Lantern Volume 4, issues 43 to 52. Oh, here's a fun fact about issue 50. Did you know when the comic was released, it reportedly sold 100,000? It was reported, I think it was like 100,000 units in sales. Yeah, it became one of the highest grossing comics in the last 20 years. Which, that was interesting. Yes. This book mostly it takes place during some of it takes place before the events of Blackest Night, and a lot of it's during, like in between some issues. 43 does not focus on Hal Jordan at all, the subject of his book. It's basically Black Hand's backstory. Excuse me, where it shows the fact that he's a hardcore necrophiliac, where he just plays with corpses. Yeah, so apparently he's filming a funeral home, and of course, yeah, where Willie's complaining like, it's too cooked, honey, it's rare, still too cooked. And of course, his brother's like, what do you think about Willie's stupid animals that are here? See chicken when we're staring at you. You just stop putting those up, William. Keep it in your bedroom, okay? Alright, Father. Where's your home anyways? From the both of you. Yeah, apparently William was like saying the dog was missing. Dog was missing. And I think that apparently the dog died. He claims he wants that grave. Of course, he doesn't understand death. Like, then all of a sudden, when he's at a funeral, he's at his home. All of a sudden, freaking Atrocitus attacks. Yes, William Hand, your insides hold doorway to absolute darkness. Yeah, then he's stopped by Hal Jordan and Sinestro. And he keeps the device. And then he proceeds to cut up a body bag. Yes, cut up an actual body bag. So apparently a symbol that he wears on his chest, it was some of the body bags. So basically his whole costume is basically, well, a body bag. Just cuz. And apparently he's been there like since around like the events of like Parallax, and with the whole thing with Hal Jordan being a Spectre. We basically see him witnessing a lot of the death over the years. Like Billy goes missing, and all of a sudden he well, actually, the dog goes missing. Like Billy goes missing. Like, and all of a sudden Billy shows up and kills his whole family. Yep, because it didn't understand him. And then he's like, then he proceeds to kill himself. Yes. And then we have Scorn just vomit up some Black Lantern rings. Makes him a Black Lantern. Just cuz. And also says with a wound on his head, making him like a Black Lantern. And then we have in issue 44, we have a rise of a Black Lantern, Martian Manhunter. Like, oh crap, there's Bruce's skull. Yeah, it's later retcon. This is not actually Bruce Wayne's body. This is actually a clone of a Batman created by Darkseid. Where is this revealed? Return of Bruce Wayne. And then we have we have John basically just they take on the zombified John Jones over the course of the issue, and then we see John take on his wife. And then we have 45 where looks like Mogul, look like a planet-sized dead planet. And Sinestros with various other cores here. Yeah, and apparently we see we see Black Lanterns who are apparently Sinestro members who died, and they come back and serve him. Black Flea's like, my, you can't steal my lantern ring. Like, yeah, it's Landville in these issues. Apparently, he got permission from the Guardians to use his thing. Like, really? Well, I think Jeff Johns created him, so why not? So apparently, the Black Lanterns are attacking the homeworld of the Zamarinians. And then we have Hal, Indigo 1, and one of the other ones. Oh, by the way, they also have a zombified version of Abin Sur who sees Indigo 1. Like, I know you, and that's not follow up into the next volume. And of course, they agree to work together because of, and of course, they have Sinestro versus Mongol, who's taking control of Kogor. I think, this is Mongol is like, nope, this is the Sinestro Corps. And then we see how we're going to see Abin Sur and Arryn. Arryn Sur is Abin Sur's sister, and when Hal asks him later what was she to him, he says nothing. Yeah, this one was actually his late wife. And I believe also the mother to his daughter. Yep. We see more Black Lanterns rise. Of course, there's St. Walker, Atrocis is here too. Basically, these issues in particular are just formation of new Guardians. Yeah, that's simply put what these issues are. The formation of new Guardians. A group formed by Hal Jordan, Sinestro, Atrocis, St. Walker, Larfleeze, and Indigo 1. That's simply what these issues are. It's built up to the debut of the new Guardian, which debuted in issue 50 of this book. And then 49 is all about John Jones. We go to Dead Planet. As he's planet all die, we see his wife there too. See, this is an issue in particular that sold 100,000. Yep. Reportedly, anyways. Here, this issue, next one, basically, if Hal becomes a Parallax once again, and we see, apparently Spectrum's become a Black Lantern. Though Hal brief, and of course we see Scarecrow as a Yellow Lantern, and Hal become host of Parallax. In order to free the Spectre from, of course, had to free him from the Black Lantern stuff. Then he briefly becomes a Red Lantern, which is so cool. And of course, Hal gets free from it. And of course, you have Black Necron is like, Universe dying now. And then we deal with a big battle that takes place during issue 7 of Blackest Night, actually issue 8. Which has basically the Guardian, the rest of the Lanterns show up, and then we have a White Lantern, and then, we conclude this Blackest Night. This trade is awesome. I give this book a 10 out of 10. It's just pure awesomeness at the finest. And, I only have one more trade left to go for the run under, of course, Jeff Johns. And that's the Brightest Day trade, and that's it. Next up we have is Fantastic Four Epic Collection Volume 8, Annihlus Revealed. This collects issues 126, 146, and Giant Size Superstars from 1. Written by Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway. Roy Thomas has most of the issues. Basically, half the issues were by him, the other half done by Jerry Conway. Artwork by Russ Audru, John Bushma, Rick Buckler, and Roman Fredera. This book covers the period of 1972 to basically December 1972 to May of 1974. 126 is basically kind of like a retelling of the first appearance of the Fantastic Four, mostly. Yeah. there is first appearance here. Don't worry about that. So, yeah, it's basically a retelling of the origin story. In issue number 27, it just basically deals with more Mole Man stuff. Yeah, and the Mole Man still continues for the next 2 issues. And then we have the return of the Frightful Four, which apparently is first appearance of Thundera. Yep, Thundera. Thundera, who the heck is that? She is from a world where it's a reverse gender, where the women are the dominant gender and the males are the slaves. Excuse me. Also, she's got a daughter named Lyra. How she was conceived is the most bizarre way, and this is not how you conceive kids. Apparently, she made out with the Hulk, took a saliva, made herself pregnant, and poof, a girl. Yep. So, 5 of 4 of this group is mostly just Sandman, Wizard, and Trapster, joined by, of course, Thundera. This was her first appearance. Also, Thundera has this weird thing where she becomes romantic attached to him. And then we have for issue 130 to about 130 something. And of course, we have 130. We have where Sue Richards leads Fantastic Four because of the safety of her son. Yep. And they also remember because of stuff with the 5 of 4. So basically, Johnny Storm, Mrs. Sister's gone to go see Crystal. And he finds her in the arms of Quicksilver from the Pages Avengers. And like, oh, I'm in love with him. Really? Yeah, and we have first appearance of Omega, the ultimate android. Yeah, this is his debut. And he returns, this is in the following issue, and he returned for Fantastic 450, and he pops up also for Marvel number 11. Final appearance was the Realm of Kings and Humans. So basically with the story, kind of in the way Roy Thomas basically had it where, oh, let's just end the relationship with Quicksilver and, not Quicksilver, for Crystal and Human Torch, and just hooked up the other two. Yep. And then, of course, well, Medusa joins the team because it's 2-parter. Then we have another fight with the 504 in 133, 134. A fight called Gregory Giddon, who had not been seen since, well, who, get this. This is his first appearance in issue 134 of Fantastic Four. He got killed off in 135. Yep. Apparently was dying. We also have son Thomas Gideon, who's actually still around. Yeah, he's still around. Basically, he just, well, became some other thing. Yeah, he's still around. His most recent appearance actually in Defenders Beyond. He was also a recurring character in Dan Slott's arm for Silver Surfer. We also first appearance of a guy called Slugger. Yeah, he only appears for like 2 issues, just a scientist guy. And he's like done. More stuff with the Wild Ones and a guy called Warhead fighting him for 1 issue. And then we have Return of the Molecule Man. Oh, the Miracle Man it is called. Yes, the Miracle Man. Make his first appearance since Fantastic Four, annual number 1. You're thinking, really? Yeah, that was in 1963. This book was published in basically the first appearance in 10 years to this guy. And they fight him, of course, next 2 issues. And then, of course, they fight Annihlus once again, because of course they do. And then, of course, you have Sue Richards come back to the picture. Yeah, at this period of time, they had her separated from Reed Richards, but they weren't divorced. Also, Johnny Storm gets a new costume, is now red, and Medusa joins the team for a brief period of time. Yep. And then we deal with Return of Doctor Doom for a few issues, because, of course, Doctor Doom. And when beat Fantastic Four without Doctor Doom, right? Yeah, this goes on to issue 144. And then for the last couple issues, a fight called Tarnek. And he's here for 2 issues. And that's it for him. Yeah, also, Ray Richards is actually absent for issue 145. Of course, we also have Giant Size Superstars #1, which features basically another match between Hulk and, of course, the Thing. Excuse me. But yeah, not much to say of this book. The book is awesome. I give the book a 10 out of 10. Okay, so that's episode review. Next episode's going to be Machuku Tensei. Okay, next video. Bye.